One of the problems that the hotel industry has is a problem of convergence. In other words, the product is beginning to look very, very similar at all levels of properties. What we really need to do is focus on creating a differentiated product around customer values. And what I mean by that is that you have as a traveler certain needs and wants that might be different from my needs and wants as a traveler. So what we've got to do is use our people and use our value system to create a very clearly differentiated offering so that when I walk in, I get a different experience from the people, that there's a brand promise that's delivered to me that's different than what you might experience at a hotel of your choosing. So value is going to be really created through not only people, but through very distinct brand mission statements. Now, one of the interesting things is that when we've studied the neuroscience of how people make choices, that people actually make choices with the emotional parts of their brain, not the rational parts of their brain. And it's interesting, they work very, very closely in sync with one another. We don't want to say that everything that people do is irrational, but what we do know is that people are looking for things that excite them and motivate them on an emotional level. So when we talk about creating experiences, we're talking about things of finding out what's important to you as a customer and making sure that we connect with your core values on a very personal, emotional level. It's more than just going into a hotel and finding a clean room, a comfortable bed, everything in the room being in working order. It's really, again, that emotional connection that hotels are seeking to make. And again, that doesn't always mean a luxury experience. If you look, for example, at Southwest Airlines, Southwest Airlines creates a very different experience than a traditional carrier like American Airlines. And if you've ever flown Southwest, you know that there's a different feel on that plane. There's a different feel on JetBlue than there is on United Airlines. And that's what we mean when we're talking about creating experiences. It's understanding the kind of things that resonate with people's values and excite them and differentiate them on a different level. One of the things that hotels need to do is they need to figure out what they want to do for customers. In other words, who do they want to be? What do they want to represent to the marketplace? And again, that's more than just quality issues like comfortable room, clean bed, hot shower. It's the experience that they want to create, and what they need to do is understand what does that look like and make sure that they recognize and measure and incent to those brand values. Because what happens a lot of times is that people will say certain things, but then whenever it really comes to what do people find themselves incented or rewarded for, they're very, very different. We did a study that shows only 7% of hospitality employees strongly agree with the idea that they're consistently rewarded for behavior that matches the stated values of the agency for whom they work. So we see a real disconnect between what people are measured upon and rewarded on versus what they're told to do. The degree that we can align those and make sure, because we know that people are going to be replicating behavior for which they're measured and incented, if we can put those kind of systems in place, we can make sure that the experience we want to create is indeed the experience that's delivered to the customer.